China cannot be the global superpower until it removes America from its perch. So this has raised lots of issues. So for example, when we look around America today, we see a massive drug problem. We see hundreds of thousands of drug overdose deaths per year. And you have to sit back and ask oneself, where is all this fentanyl coming from? Where was all the heroin coming from? You know, heroin was grown in Afghanistan for decades. You know, huge quantities of heroin. Fentanyl is something that has to be manufactured. You know, my own personal belief is if we could dig through all of the supply lines of drugs, I would put $1,000 on the idea that China is behind America's drug problems. Because one of the tenets of Chinese philosophy is if you can't beat your enemy in a full frontal attack, for example, then you beat them from within. So China has been using the workshop formula since the mid-1980s to hollow out American manufacturing. And in my opinion, I believe that they are behind America's massive drug problem because those drugs don't just grow on trees, I mean, in terms of use. I mean, they're coming from someplace, and we can blame it on the South Americans, but, you know, they had to get into the business. Who put them into the business? Okay, so my belief is the Chinese have been attacking America on the drug front as well as the manufacturing front to weaken us as much as possible. And then ultimately, if we are not paying attention and we give up our status as a global superpower, which we're never going to do, and the Quigley administration will make sure programs and solutions are in place to prevent everything we're talking about today, then that would open the field for China. And then if the field were open for China, I would literally bet you my right foot that they would become an aggressive expansionist power. Because they have to. They've got too much stuff going on inside their country, which is pushing them outwards. Basically, a population that's starving, not enough natural resources, they need more farmland, they need more fresh water, they need more energy. I mean, in order to support those 1.5 billion people, China has to either do what Taiwan did, which was to turn its country into a brain trust, which is, you know, that's 1.5 billion. That's a big project in itself, or to expand out. And the Chinese military and the Chinese leaders, you know, like I said, they're very Napoleonic in their views, and we see this attitude popping up left, right, and center. So there's a lot. So when we look at China, we should not look at China as friends. We need to look at China as very serious, cutthroat, live or die adversaries, and behave accordingly. Now, having said all of that, we have yet another argument in our reason why we have to stand behind Taiwan, because that geographic position, just like Eisenhower said, it's a permanent aircraft carrier stationed 60 miles off of the Chinese East Coast. And that helps keep them in check to a degree.